with Adaire. This is TV for you by TV from me. This is where I talk to people in our local community who are doing amazing things to add value to the lives of people around them. Now, this could be anything from meditation, a yoga class, reading tarot cards or healing, physical fitness, cooking, gardening, whatever you're interested in, it's going to be covered here. Today we are talking to the amazing Stuart Ramsey. Now, he is with the Hunter, or his business is the Hunter Valley Spending Planners. And his story, and I'll bring him in and he will share with us himself, but just in a nutshell, after struggling with trying to run his own budget for nearly 10 years and not ever getting ahead, a friend introduced him to the spending plan. And he's also is a husband and father to 2 boys. So you got 3 boys. He knew that something had to change. So over the last 5 years, the way he's approached his personal finances has completely changed. It's completely turned around, and he can now say with certainty that he is absolutely in control of where the money goes, and he knows where it goes each and every day. So with that, on that note, I'm going to bring him in because I'm really curious as to his story. So, Stuart, how are you?
Hi there. Good. How are you?
It's great. Very well, thank you. And it is. I've got a little love heart here now. It's sort of, it's in the frame. If we just move the face over a little bit, we could both be in the. It's actually a love heart. You can't see it from your end, but you will see it in the. In the replay. It's actually made up of houses. So this is the community, and down in my tagline, it is all about community. I meant to explain that before I introduced you, but I'll turn it off now. That's my effect. That's my attempt at doing good graphics in frames. But anyway, that's another story for another time. Stuart, how did you, what happened I'm interested in your story because many people would be faced with the same issue. And I certainly know that myself and my husband have been in the same boat. It's not to say we're not still in the same boat, but in terms of your own experience, which has led you to becoming a spending planner. And I do want to ask you about the concept of the word spending planner as well. So just share a bit of your story with us.
Okay, so yeah, like you said in the intro, I suppose I was trying to do my own budget myself over many years, and as an electrical engineer by trade, I thought I should have been able to do it very well, given that I'm pretty good with maths, but trying to do it on your own without really a system in place and just lumping all your money into one account, not really looking at where it goes, having credit cards, thinking that you can buy things here and pay it off. And it really, when you really look down at it, you're not really getting anywhere. And I was talking to one of my colleagues one day, telling him about what was going on. And he said that him and his wife had come across the spending planner system a few years beforehand. And it had really changed everything they had, the way they looked at their money and everything. So he started telling me all about it, and I thought, okay, look, I've got to give something a go. I'm willing to try anything. So I looked into it myself and really found that it was a great system for showing you where your money goes, making sure that you're putting a plan in place. And that's probably the key thing here is planning where you want to spend your money. And
yes.
And once you have that plan and you commit to it, then you really can't go wrong, and that's the great thing about it. And I suppose the extension of that is now back then I was doing it all on my own, but now as a spending planner I get to teach other people how to do it as well, and really be there to support them and motivate them to stay on track and answer their questions as well. So I think that's the real difference between what I was doing by myself versus now what I'm doing as a business.
So I guess the thing is this isn't your real, like, your primary job. This is it's not your day job.
No. So this is something that I do because I'm really passionate about it, and I think that's what really wanted me to get involved with it. I saw how it changed my life. I knew that I couldn't be unique. I know people don't like to talk about money, but if you ask most people, they will probably say that they do have money struggles because they really just don't have a system, and it's nothing that you learn at school or from other people. You really are just left to your own ways and working it out on your own. And I think that's what's really great about this opportunity that I came across, is to be able to teach people really what the spending plan system is all about, teach it to them, and be there to support them. And I think that's the key thing. I like to think of myself as like a personal trainer for your spending. So I'm there to coach you, and I'm there to support you and motivate you and make you accountable as well. And that's really another thing. Having someone to account every week what you're actually spending and whether you're actually meeting those goals that you're putting down really makes it solidify in your own mind. Yes, I'm going to actually do this because I don't want to have to tell Stuart that I didn't. And that's a great part of it.
So do you work at all with people on their beliefs? Because I mean, I've been in classes where we talk about money mindset, and there's a whole heap of as in my journey, I've identified that there's been many limiting beliefs that I've actually carried forth into my adult life that were imparted to me from my parents and to them by their parents. If we don't move past those, is there anything around mindset or what we actually looking at what we believe? Or I know you said when we talked earlier, we said no, we won't go off on a tangent, and there I go right off on a tangent. But
well, I think it's about maybe not beliefs, but it's about the way that you approach the money. And if you've always done it the same way, you're always going to continue to do that. And when the first thing that I do with someone is sit down and get them to actually identify where they're spending their money. And I think that's the biggest eye-opener with everyone, is when you look back at your statements, actually write down what you do every week or every month or every year. You really identify exactly where all your money is going. And that's the big thing. The biggest eye-opener for most people is really they know that their money's going somewhere, but because they're not putting it down on paper, then they think they've got enough. But really, in actual fact, they don't. And identifying where the overflow is, I suppose, and where you can pull back to make sure that what you're spending is less than what you're making, and that's probably the biggest thing.
So, do you find that people need to be in a real hole before they'll reach out? Because I know how stubborn I can be. So. Well,
I think that most of the clients that I work with are families who are both coming from, and then most of them are two-income families as well. So they've got good income coming in, but because they don't have those systems in place, or they don't understand what they're doing with their money every day or every week, they can't understand where it's all going. And I was the same as well. When you just live day by day and you don't really, or you have a budget that you set out for a year and you divide it by 12, or you divide it by the number of paychecks, it doesn't completely work like that in real life, because all your bills don't come exactly 12 months apart, and things will come in lumps. You need to be able to plan for that, and that's really where the spending plan system is like we say it's a crystal ball for your money, for your spending, because you're able to predict exactly how much cash you're going to need on every single day of your life to make sure that you can meet all of your commitments that you need to have.
Oh, I love that idea, because it is that, I don't know, perhaps it was conditioning, but the idea of spending planning, because I know for me, the idea that when you say budget, that's immediately like, oh, you've got to pull back. You're constricting yourself. There's nothing that you like. It seems when you just even the terminology that you use. Linda's saying the sound is crackly. Yes, we did have some audio issues, and she's saying she's remembered to pop in as herself. Normally she pops in as My Time TV. Yes. But thank you, Linda, for joining us. Jade, thank you. And I see Amber's here as well, so thank you. Sound is a bit crackly. I will get you to just refresh again and see if we can't clean up that sound a little bit, Stuart, and then we'll talk a bit more about how the name came about, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so while Stuart is refreshing his screen, just recap, we are talking to Stuart Ramsey from Hunter Valley spending planners, and it is all around spanning your planning, planning your spending, so that you know exactly where your money is going. Now, I think we will talk. Let's hope his audio is a little better, because there we go. He's popping back in now, and we'll see how that's going. It's quite possibly could be the internal mic. And hello again, Stuart. Let's see how that is.
I'm back.
That's a bit better, I think. Yes. Okay, wonderful. So the name, the spending planning name, I think that was when you dropped out, I said you were planning your planning your, whatever you are. I did a spooner and it just didn't, it came out all wrong. So the word, the terminology I like, because, and Linda's saying now that the sound is better, which is awesome. So the terminology, the spending planning, where did that come from? And because I like it much better than budget, so. Are you there?
You there, Adaire? Yeah.
Yep. Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you, but the screen's frozen, but that's okay. You're back now. So in terms of the name, the spending planning, I'd never heard that before, and I thought it was absolutely excellent, because it actually puts you on the, for me, mentally or maybe psychologically, it puts you in the driver's seat, because if you're planning your spending, it actually feels a lot freer than what budgeting does. So do you know how the name came about?
And I think the idea, well, I'm part of the Spending Planners Institute, and I suppose the David Wright, who started the Spending Planners Institute, has been around for a very long time on the budgeting scene, I suppose you'd say, and he created the foundation and wanted to make it something very positive. And like you said, budgeting is not a very positive kind of word. People don't usually cringe when you say it, but planning your spending is really what we're all about. And I always go into any meetings with any of my clients being completely unjudgmental with what they want to do. It's their life, and they're able to spend their money any way that they want to. And I'm there to help them see whether the way they want to spend their money is able to actually be feasible. And that's really what we're all about. We're wanting to have a plan in place to be able to spend the money the way we want to. And it needs to be positive. You need it to be.
It has to be a positive. It has to have a good vibe, because otherwise you're just not going to do it, are you?
That's right. Yes.
So with David, and I actually I have spoken to David myself. He's a really lovely guy, and I think it was very fortunate that he has had the foresight to set something like this up. Can you just talk a little bit maybe about the cornerstone? What you use, or the tools that you use to do to make this happen, to make your spending planning happen?
Yep. So it's an online. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So the tools that we use are it's a online system created by the Spending Planners Institute, and so what we do is my role in it is to educate you on how to develop that spending plan and how to put it into the system online, and then how to modify it as your time goes on. Because I don't want to be there helping you with your spending plan for the rest of your life. I want to train you on how to do it and be comfortable with doing it, and feel that you are in control of your finances. And I suppose that's the biggest difference between what we do as spending planners and what some other people may do with helping you with your finances. So we want to try.
I was going to ask that, but
train you online system. Have you got me still?
Yep. No, you just come in and out, but it's okay. I think yep.
Okay, cool. So having that online system is really important. It lets us be able to access it anywhere. It's not confined just to your computer. You can pull it up on your tablet, on your phone, anywhere at home when you're out and about to see where you are. And it lets me be able to help you from anywhere as well. So I try not to just take clients on in my own local area. I really try and be accessible from anywhere in the world. And like you said, my engineering day job does take me all over the place, but being able to help people through their spending plan online in a format exactly like you or I doing right now, having a chat online, being able to pull it up through the web browser and
if you've got good internet, because we've lost you again.
Process. Oh, sorry.
I said we've lost you again. Yes, I was curious about that because you've got Hunter Valley spending planners, and making me think that was where you were located. So I'm gathering that that's where your place of abode is, but you do work remotely and you do work. Does it work for any currency and any economy?
First.
Yeah.
No, you're right. What was that? Sorry.
I said, does it work for any, like, say, if you were someone from Europe, you connected with someone from Europe or the US or the UK, would it work for them, or even someone in Pakistan, for example?
And I think that's what's great about it is that it's a platform that allows you just to put your spending in your local currency and develop it from there. So we have got spending planners in the US and in New Zealand as well. But every time I travel for work internationally, if it comes up in our casual conversations over dinner, I'll tell them about what I do as a spending planner, and a lot of people are always interested in how they can get help in their finances, in their spending, I should say.
Yeah, no, I would absolutely say that there's probably more people that could use their help than not, because just from my own observations. So just quickly, Stuart, do you you've worked with clients right across Australia, and perhaps you said this. Did I hear correctly? You said you have some in the US, or are they people who work with other people in the US?
So I don't much of the Spending Planners Institute in Australia and in New Zealand and in America. So if you wanted to find a local spending planner in your area, then you can go to the Spending Planners Institute and you can pull up the information on all those people who find out who is in your area. But like I said, I am more than happy to help anyone from anywhere.
Yeah. That's awesome. So in terms of some of the successes that you've had, what would be some of the biggest aha moments that you, without giving away too much confidentiality, but what could you expect if, say, I go, well, look, my finances are in a mess, I seem to still be able to pay the bills, I think I can do it better. What would you?
I think the best success story that I've had is a family just like mine in my local area, and they were on fairly reasonable income, and they just couldn't understand where all their money was going. And after 6 months of doing of following the system and having me there helping her coach her through it, they found, I think it was $3,000 extra that they'd saved in that 6 months that they were able to put towards some of their loans. So towards their house or a car loan. So that was really great, because it's just being able to understand where your money is going, and then putting those boundaries in place to stop you from overspending, stop impulse spending, and saying this is my limits. This is what the plan is saying. This is what I've committed to in the plan, and actually committing to it. And that's the big thing. And that's where my role comes in, to make sure that you commit to it.
Yeah. I love it. Linda's saying control your money rather than having your money control you. I think that's brilliant.
Right, yes.
I think Linda is she's got the prosperity game that she and her two other money honeys play. And I'm wondering how you two should be, like she's got the concept of feeling like you're in abundance, even if you're not, and then spending energetically as much money as you possibly can. then you've got the practical ways of saying, well, here's how you actually, here's how you do that in real life with your money. And I think it's actually having, from what I can see, it's about having a good relationship with money and not being scared of it.
Yes, definitely. You want to be in control of your money, like Linda said. You don't want it to control you. Yeah.
What she's saying, it's easy to do when you're not consciously tracking what you do. Exactly. Understand where your money is going and make conscious choices. Really does put you back in control, doesn't it? Yeah, for sure.
It does. Yeah. So, and putting it on paper, and like if you talk to any motivational and goal coach, they will tell you that writing down your goals and putting them on paper, or putting them, just getting them down out of your mind and out of words is solidifies that in your mind to get it done.
Well, it does. And the other thing is that the phrase that kept popping into my mind was one by Peter Drucker, and he's a management guru coach for managers in corporations and government. And he says you can't improve what you don't measure. And I guess that is true for everything. If you're not measuring where your money is going, it's like the same. If you're wondering why your pants aren't fitting, like I am, and you're not measuring how many calories you're sticking in your mouth, you can't improve it.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So putting it down, and that's the biggest eye opener for most people is when you first build that plan. And what I always try and do is get them to build their plan exactly as their life is at the moment, so that they can see exactly where they're sitting right now. And then from there, you can either pull back if you need to, or you can see exactly how much you've got left over to put other places. And that's the great thing about it, is letting the system tell you what you can do with your money.
Yeah. So what would you say to people who were a bit reluctant, who go, I think I'm going to have to give up something to do this? Have you got any words of wisdom for them? Because I'm thinking that's probably how I'd feel. It's like, oh, do I have to give up something? And you've got a friend in Linda. Look at this. Linda's saying your parameters are very similar to mine. The training as a financial fitness coach works along similar premises as your approach. Like, kids, we can't ever get enough of this. Seriously. When you see your situation in black and white, you need get clear about what needs to change. Wow.
That's exactly right. So I think back to your question, it's not up to me to tell you what can change, and I don't want to be there to tell you what to change. I just want to make it an eye opener for you to be able to see exactly where your money is going, and the decision is entirely up to you. I'm not here to pass judgment. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money. I'm only here to show you the system, to open your eyes to what's going on in your life, and let you be the decision maker for where you want to go from there.
Yes. Yeah. No, I think that's actually quite a really, what's the word I'm looking for? I was going to say relaxing, but quite a reassuring approach, because I think often we are so busy judging ourselves, and our expectations are, sort of, or maybe it's just me, so say, like mum's going to come in and give me a smack because I've been naughty, and but you don't operate like that. Obviously, you're dealing with adults, so.
No. That's right. Yeah, and I'm there to make you accountable in a positive way. I'm never going to say you shouldn't have done that. I'm going to say, well, let's have a think about what we could have done differently next week to make sure that this doesn't happen again. And what are we going to do, or what are we going to put in place to make sure that this doesn't happen again? And it's my role in this is really to coach you, because that's what I want. I don't want to be helping you for the rest of your life. I want you to be in control of your finances. Yeah.
Now, that sounds like the best way to be, because like you said, when we first started this conversation, it's not something we get taught in school. It's definitely, I guess, precious few people would get that training from their parents even. Most, I would imagine, and I'm very broadly generalizing here, as most people would go, you know, what do you think I am, a money tree? Or, you know, like,
Yeah, that's right.
go get the money off the money tree. We don't actually sit down with our parents and learn to budget.
No, well, but even on that point, if you do get some education from your parents, you can't be assured that they're going to be teaching you the right way to look at it either. They're only going to be as good as what they've learned and what they've tried over their years and lifetime. So
exactly. So here's a different way of being, a different way of thinking about things, and you've got some really, really powerful tools to be able to help. And I would imagine that it sort of makes it fun as well, because if you can actually be sitting in the driver's seat and you can see where you're going and you can actually map it out, it would be I think it would give a sense of security and definitely a sense of a bit more balance rather than being out of control.
And I think, well, the biggest feedback I get from most people is that it's a sense of relief. They know where their money is going and they're in control, and they feel like a weight has been lifted off their shoulders because now they know that they're in control.
That's awesome. So, Stuart, whereabouts can we find you? You work anywhere with anyone?
Well, I don't have any physical offices, and that's because I really want to be a presence that's available everywhere. So reaching me on my Facebook page is the best way to get in contact with me. So you can search for Hunter Family Spending Planners or HFS Planners in Facebook. And send me a message on there.
It's actually up here as well. So it's in the body.
There we go.
So if you're watching the replay, the link is above here. You can just send Stuart a message.
They come up on my phone straight away, and I'm usually pretty quick at getting back to people.
Okay, beautiful. So you're you are happy to work with people. Is there a waiting list or is there capacity? I know you fit it in around what you're already doing, and
I probably don't have any. I don't have a waiting list at the moment, and I don't really have a capacity. I like to take on as many clients as I feel I can at any one time. So at the moment, I've got a couple of people who I'm probably finishing up with very shortly. So I'll have a couple of spaces coming up, but I'm more than happy to take people on anytime. And really, there's a lot of work to do at the beginning, but once we get the plan up and running, we need to invest in it. Comes down because you're getting more in control with it and getting more familiar with what you need to do.
Beautiful. And Linda's saying it's a cool approach. Money stress isn't defined by geography. Good one, Stuart. And Susan, who's one of the money honeys that works with Linda, she's saying you gain confidence and fun. Linda's actually got a question. How long do you usually work with people? Is there a set duration?
So I usually like to do a minimum of 6 months, and that mostly is to make sure that you feel comfortable with the plan and we get a really good idea of what is going on over that 6 month period, because you're not going to get everything in one go. Most people get pretty close, but things pop up that change, and over that 6 month period we get a really good idea and you get a really good handle on how to continue with the plan on your own after we finish up together. But with any of my clients, I'm always happy to revisit their plan with them and give them a helping hand with anything they need after the minimum duration.
That's right. And Linda's saying lovely support and focus. Well, that is awesome. Stuart, our time is up. Your time is up.
We've done well.
Those half hours, they do fly by really quickly. I've got to get my daughter to the airport and you've got to get back to your day job. Thank you so much, Stuart, for joining me here today. It has been an absolute pleasure as well. Hunter Valley Spending Planners and Stuart Ramsey will help you. The link is above up here in the body of the post. And I'm Adaire Palmer. This is Community TV with Adaire on mytimetv.live. You will see us next week at 2 p.m. Australian Central Standard Time for more community TV with Adaire. Thank you for joining us, and see you then. Bye.
Bye.